With the final update for Iceborne coming out in a couple weeks and Monster Hunter Rise being right around the corner, it's really never too early to start talking about Monster Hunter 6. Welcome to the video, everyone. My name is Shadowmains, and today I'm going to talk about the 10 things that I would like to see in Monster Hunter 6. So we know Monster Hunter 6 is coming. It's probably going to be, I don't know, probably right around the time 2023, 2024, depending on, you know, the pandemic and how that's going to affect the time schedule for the teams and getting things done and stuff like that. So really we could see it late 2023, early 2024, maybe even in the beginning or in the middle of 2024, excuse me. Just because, you know, we don't know how the pandemic's actually affected the scheduling for these things. But when it comes, these are the things that I would love to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from number 10, and I'm going to work my way up to number 1 for, you know, the 10 things that I'd like to see. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's jump right into it. All right, so number 10, a bigger monster roster. This one is a given. You know, they had to basically build everything from scratch for World, so a bigger monster roster, words, is, you know, it's 100% a given. World had a pretty big roster, actually. I'm really impressed with how many monsters they had in it. I'm really impressed with how many different, you know, unique feelings some of these monsters had. But I think they could go higher. I think they could do more. They've got a big roster that they could pull from. They got a huge backlog of monsters that they could pull from. And they can take this up as high as they want, and I am for this. Number 9, an actual open world. So World had kind of like a pseudo open world where the maps were just extremely open, and Rise is taken on that as well. There is no loading between zones on the map itself. Where the loading is between, you know, you coming out of the hub and then you're going into the map and it loads there. I want a true open world. I want you to be able to just walk right out of the town, walk right out of the hub, and just go right into the map. And then start fighting monsters from there. You know, maybe even walk to the camp that you need to do to start the fight or something like that. I want to see an actual true open world with this game, and I think they could pull it off on modern hardware, and I think it would be an incredible experience if they, you know, managed to do that. Moving on to number 8, more monsters on the map. You know, if we can get a bigger monster roster, okay, and this is basically kind of dependent on the, you know, 9 and 10, essentially. If we can get a bigger monster roster, we can get you know, more open maps, maybe even bigger maps. Maybe they can make the maps a little bit bigger. Maybe we could have more than 3 giant monsters on the map. I think that'd be incredible. Why not? Why not? It could be done. I think it can be done. If we ever get something like the Guiding Lands again in the future, make it more than 3 monsters, you know, just 4, 5. I mean, whatever works, right? I'd love to see more. Just more monsters on the map, period. Because, I mean, I want to see chaos. Number 7. 15th weapon. So we've got 14 weapons now, with the last new weapon being the Insect Glaive, which I believe they added that because they also added mounting in right around the same time. So why not add a 15 weapon? I don't know what this would be. That could be, you know, a topic from another time. We've talked about it a few times in the Hunters Roundtable. I know some people really want to see like fist weapons. They want to get in there and they want to, you know, box the monster, to bop and weave the monster really quick and bop him in the head. I've heard people talk about like, I don't remember what those weapons are called, but it's the one where you like hold it here and it goes up and down and you can spin it and stuff. You've seen it, what was it, Soul Calibur, you see it in there. I don't know what the weapon could be, but I think it's about time for 15th weapon, because I think at that point when the game does come out, it'd have been almost a decade since a new weapon had come out, I want to say. I think the time scaling matches up for that. I'll let you guys know. You'll see it on the screen somewhere. I'll pop it up here. I'll pop it up there. It'll be right there, here. That'll let you know, I'm like, hey, this is the last time we got a new weapon. We're going to get a new one now. Number 6. So this one I think is more of a me thing. I don't know how many people are actually going to want this. I know a lot of people don't like doing like the mushroom and egg collection quests and stuff like that. So this might not be for them. But when World came out and you were able to go on expeditions, I really loved exploring the map. And one of the things that I think would be really cool to see, and one of the things that I think they could do, and it would actually kind of work if, you know, it still kind of allowed you to go out into the maps and explore and stuff, is if they made specific quests just for researching monsters. So this could be going out watching a monster, you know, scratch at a wall or drop its poo somewhere, because monsters drop their poo somewhere in this game. Even in like something special, like I found the freaking Anjanath on Ancient Forest will literally just go and sit down and stare out into the ocean. So maybe it could be something like that, and like snap pictures of it and stuff, take it back to the research commission. Just collecting data, researching the monster. You know, the game has this whole research side that it pushes along with the actual being the hunter and stuff like that. And I think it would be really cool to see them kind of expand that research side and give you a little bit more to mess around with that. So I mean, that's just me. It might not be for everyone. Number 5. So hear me out on this one, because this is just kind of something that I've talked about in the Hunters podcast. You can find a link to the playlist up in the corner there, or even down in the description. Check out my podcast, guys. I actually think it's kind of good. But a portable connection, okay? And just hear me out on this one. I'm gonna explain it. It sounds a little bit weird when I just say portable connection, right? You hear and you're like, portable? What does this mean? What this means is you get Monster Hunter 6. It's a full experience game. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's made for the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X. I think that's what it's called. Pretty sure that's what it's called. The PC. It's got gorgeous graphics, almost 4K, you know, resolutions. It's beautiful. It's 60 FPS nonstop, fully open world, gorgeous, a chef's kiss of a game. And then they're like, okay, well, we also like the idea of adding in a Switch connection. Now, this Switch connection could literally just be you play as your Palico, or Palamutes if they decide to bring that up from Rise. I kind of hope they bring the doggos up from Rise. Give me the doggos in Rise, or from Rise. Give me the doggos in Monster Hunter 6. But you play as your Palico, and you can do your Palico going out and collecting stuff, because, you know, people don't have all the time in the world to go out and collect materials that they need for hunts. So people are on the go, people are, you know, working, they're going here, they're going there. A little portable thing where it's like mini games that you can go and collect stuff for the actual main series game. Your Palico can go and hunt small monsters, can just go and explore the maps maybe. It could be a little bit downgraded. It's a Switch game. I mean, I don't expect it to be PS5, Xbox, and PC quality when it comes to graphics. So it could be a little bit downgraded. It could look a little, you know, wonky here and there, I guess. But it's like an add-on to the game experience that still allows you to participate in the game while you're not playing the game. That way you can collect stuff for the game. This is something we've talked about a lot in the podcast, and I really kind of hope that they would consider doing something like that, because that would actually be really cool. All right. Number 4, we're getting into some of the things that I actually really want to see. A bigger and better guiding lands. Now hear me out. I love the guiding lands concept. In concept, just a place that you can go collect materials, non-stop hunt. You know, monsters coming in, monsters coming out. You can drop your friends in, you can find rare materials. That is a fantastic idea on paper. The implementation was a little wonky. It definitely needed some work. There were some places they could have improved on it. And, you know, as the game was getting its updates for Iceborne, as the year was going on, it did improve and it made it a little bit better. But maybe they could make it bigger. Maybe they can make it better. Maybe they can implement it a little bit better. Maybe they can make it more worth it, because I don't know about you guys, but I really didn't get into the Guiding Lands when it was first out. You know, I had the game beat. I was like, all right, I'm here. This game is amazing. I don't like the Guiding Lands at this time, so I'm never going to do it. There's literally no reason for me to go in except to grab the material I need and then never touch it until I need to go in and grab the material again, which I think did a disservice to it, because it definitely had a ton of potential to be something incredible. So I don't know how they got to do it. I don't know what they got to do. That could be an entire different discussion in itself, but something bigger, something better, maybe with more monsters, maybe with you know, maybe not just so much focusing on, hey, you can only get this material in the Guiding Lands, but maybe make it to where it's like, oh, this is an easier way of going in and grabbing a bunch of the materials that you need, or something like that. And even then, this part was going to play into number 1 a little bit, because number 1, you guys aren't ready for number 1. Oh my gosh, stick around for number 1, because this is something that I think Monster Hunter absolutely needs. Moving on to number 3, make the hub size 8 people. I think 4 is too little. We know Rise is going to go back to 4. I don't know if you guys have seen the Eric's Gaming video where he did the interview with, you know, the Capcom team, but it is going to be 4 in Rise. I thought 16 might have been a little bit too much. I feel like 8 is like that perfect golden number. You get 2 good, you know, you get 2 teams who are able to go out and hunt. You can interlock, you know, flip-flop however you want. And I don't know, 16 felt like a crowd. It really did. I feel like 8's that perfect golden ratio when it comes to how many hunters can be in a lobby. And this is just personal bias, really. I don't have any like basis on this. I don't have any like numbers or data to back this up. This is just me. I feel 8 is, you know, perfect number. 4 is too few. 16's a crowd. There could be an argument for 12. I'd be fine if it was 12, you know, 3 teams, but I felt 4 teams was just a little too much. Personally. All right, we are on number 2 now, and honestly this is something that I felt World should have actually implemented. I can kind of understand why they wouldn't, especially when you're trying to attract, you know, older hunter, you know, the older hunter base, and trying to pull them up and be like, hey look, this still got the stuff you love, while giving new hunters something to work with, you know, giving them a way to safely, I guess safely might be the word, safely get in on these games and, you know, have a little bit of fun. But this thing is, make the towns the hubs. Do away with the gathering hub, or evolve it to the point to where, you know, it wasn't as much of a detriment as it was in World. I feel like you're given, you know, like you were given Astera, you were given Celiana, these gorgeous looking locations that you can go and play around with. But when you do multiplayer, you're spending, you know, 90% of your time in the gathering hub. You don't even get to see all the stuff that was happening out there. You're literally in the gathering hub, you know? And for me, I want to see everything. I know it was a problem in the World when it first released too. It's like, well, you got to leave the gathering hub to go do your armor skills. You got to leave the gathering hub to go collect quests or stuff like that. You've got to leave the gathering hub to just go, like, it didn't have the basic necessities, and they did correct that with Iceborne. The issue is you would have never have needed to correct that had the gathering hub literally just been Astera or Celiana. There would have been no need for 2 separate things, and I think they could have done some really, really cool stuff with that, and I still think they can do some really, really cool stuff with that. So I'm kind of hoping Monster Hunter 6 takes the 2 and just finally puts them together, so that you've got like all of these hunters in this town. The town feels a little bit more alive. You know, you don't feel like you're just seeing it to see it, especially when offline quests weren't really a thing for World and Iceborne, right? You could literally just hop into anybody's quest from either hub, from like your gathering hub or from Astera or Celiana, and there wasn't an issue. They could get rid of it. It's not needed. You don't need it anymore. I love the gathering hubs in the old games because it was the only place you can go and play with people online. Then you had your offline stuff. It worked out great there. I don't see it. I don't see a future for it, and I think it's about time they just bite the bullet and, you know, make the town the hub. Bring everybody into the town. Do away with the gathering hub. Make the town amazing, and then I don't think people will complain about it too much, as long as the implementation isn't like half-assed, or, you know, as long as it's done in a way that just works. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's a good implementation, I don't think it'll complain too much. And here we are at number 1 on this list, and this is something that I think Monster Hunter has either needed for a while. I feel like it's needed it for a while. I definitely think that this would just elevate Monster Hunter 1 step above than what it is, and that's giving the player the ability to customize their own towns or gathering hubs, depending on how, you know, these things are implemented and how you want to set it up. Give the player the ability to customize their spaces. We've seen it with the rooms. The rooms are fantastic. Now I think we could take that one step further. Just pop it up. Get rid of the rooms. Get rid of the rooms and make it the town. Just make it the town completely. I mean, they've got so many things. You've got cool weapons, you've got dope armor. I mean, everything looks incredible. I think they could do some really special stuff with the town, and I think if you allow people to go out and, like, maybe it's you got to collect certain items while you're out there, find certain monster parts or something like that before you can upgrade bits and pieces of your town or your gathering hub. Whatever the implementation is, let players do it. I mean, it just gives you that one extra step. It's like, all right, well, I've got this cool armor, I've got this cool weapon, but I really want my town to look like this. It allows people to add their own personal flair, and I would love to see that. And I know not everybody wants to see that. Not everybody wants to, like, waste time with town building, I guess, but I'm of the mindset that I think it's a ton of fun, and this is my list of telling you what I would like to see. So it's going to be number 1 on my list because I think Monster Hunter would definitely, you know, benefit from that pretty heavily. But with that being said, tell me down in the comments down below. Like, tell me, what are the top 10 things you would like to see in Monster Hunter 6? Maybe just the top 10 things you would like to see in Monster Hunter in general, whether it comes in 6, whether it comes in Rise, whether it comes, you know, and some offshoot game on like your mobile phone or something like that. Let me know what you would like to see. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
All right, we're gonna ride around, wait for the smoke, and just slowly ride. Oh, there's our building.
Oh shit!